Here are a few reasons why getting rich is easy. 1. Dive into the money stream. Our economy runs on spending, so why not get swept up in the current? Alright my friends, let's be real for a moment. We live in a world where money talks and it's practically shouting at us from every corner. Billboards, TV commercials, social media ads, they're all vying for our attention, tempting us to part with our hard-earned cash in exchange for the latest gadgets, fashions, and experiences. But what if I told you that this constant barrage of consumerism isn't just a ploy to separate us from our money? What if I said that it's actually the key to unlocking a world of financial abundance and prosperity? That's right, folks. The secret to getting rich is as simple as embracing the flow of money in our economy. You see, our entire economic system is built on a foundation of consumption. Every time we swipe our credit cards, every time we click that buy now button, we're contributing to the lifeblood that keeps the engines of commerce running. And the more we spend, the more that money circulates, creating opportunities for wealth and growth. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait, isn't spending money the opposite of getting rich? And you'd be right if we were talking about mindless, reckless spending. But what I'm proposing is a more strategic approach, one that harnesses the power of consumption while maintaining a healthy respect for financial discipline. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of living in harmony with the natural order of things, and our modern economy is a reflection of that principle. As Confucius, the renowned Chinese philosopher, once said, "The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions." His words remind us that true wealth comes not from empty promises or grandiose plans, but from taking consistent, deliberate action towards our goals. Socrates, the influential Greek philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." His words are a call to approach our financial lives with a critical and analytical mindset, to question our assumptions and habits, and to make informed decisions based on a deep understanding of our values and priorities. And let's not forget the wisdom of Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher and polymath, who said, "Virtue is the mean between two extremes." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from excess or deprivation, but from striking a balance between our desires and our means, a mindset that is essential when it comes to embracing the flow of money in our economy. The key to getting rich, then, lies in striking a balance between strategic spending and financial discipline. It's about identifying opportunities to invest in products, services, or experiences that not only bring you joy and fulfillment, but also contribute to the overall growth and prosperity of the economy. Perhaps it's starting a business that provides a valuable product or service, or investing in companies that are at the forefront of innovation and progress. Or maybe it's simply about making conscious choices as a consumer, supporting businesses and industries that align with your values and contribute to the greater good. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself tempted to resist the urge to spend, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that the superior man acts before he speaks, and that true wealth comes from taking consistent, deliberate action towards your goals. Embrace the truth that the unexamined life is not worth living, and that by approaching your financial life with a critical and analytical mindset, you are paving the way for a future filled with balance, abundance, and opportunity. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you to live with wisdom and contentment, and who remind you that the greatest wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the cultivation of a rich and fulfilling inner life, one that is guided by the principles of self-discipline, financial responsibility, and a deep understanding of the true nature of wealth and prosperity. 2. Investing in stocks is like online shopping for your financial future. Easier than ever. Alright my friends, let's be real for a moment. We live in a world of instant gratification where the latest gadgets, fashions, and experiences are just a few clicks away. Gone are the days of trudging through crowded malls or waiting in endless lines, because now the entire world of consumerism is quite literally at our fingertips. But what if I told you that this same convenience, this same effortless access extends far beyond the realm of material goods? What if I said that the secret to building lasting wealth, to securing your financial future, is just as easy as online shopping? That's right, folks, I'm talking about the world of stock investing, a realm that was once reserved for the elite, the Wall Street tycoons and high-rolling investors. But thanks to the wonders of modern technology, the barriers to entry have been shattered, and anyone with an internet connection and a little bit of spare cash can now become a player in the game. We've all been there, haven't we? Dreaming of financial freedom, of a life unencumbered by the shackles of debt and the constant worry of making ends meet. But for many of us, the idea of investing in stocks has always seemed like a daunting, complex endeavor, reserved for those with deep pockets and even deeper knowledge of the markets. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of seizing opportunities and living in harmony with the natural order of things. As Heraclitus, the renowned pre-Socratic philosopher, once said, "Character is destiny." His words remind us that our financial destiny is shaped by the character we cultivate, and that embracing the opportunities presented by modern stock investing is a reflection of our commitment to growth and self-improvement. Zhuangzi, the influential Chinese philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who is not carried away by the crowd, but who remains unmoved by the opinions of the multitude." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to financial decision-making, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher and author of the Tao Te Ching, who said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from grand gestures, but from the consistent, incremental efforts we make in the present moment. A mindset that is essential when it comes to embracing the world of modern stock investing. The truth is, investing in stocks has never been easier or more accessible than it is today. With the rise of online trading, platforms, and mobile apps, you can now buy and sell shares with just a few taps on your smartphone, all while sipping your morning coffee or lounging on the couch. But it's not just about convenience. The real power of modern stock investing lies in its potential for growth and wealth creation. By carefully researching and selecting companies that align with your values and long-term goals, you can become a part owner in some of the world's most innovative and successful enterprises, reaping the rewards as they continue to grow and thrive. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So the next time you find yourself tempted to dismiss the idea of stock investing as too complex or out of reach, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that character is destiny, and that true financial freedom comes from embracing opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Embrace the truth that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that by taking consistent, incremental action towards your investment goals, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance and prosperity. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you to live with wisdom and contentment, and who remind you that the greatest wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the cultivation of a rich and fulfilling inner life. One that is guided by the principles of self-discipline, financial responsibility, and a deep understanding of the true nature of wealth and prosperity. 3. Ride the wave of technological revolution. Just don't forget your virtual surfboard. Alright my friends, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible times we're living in. We're witnessing a technological revolution unlike anything the world has ever seen before. A tidal wave of innovation that's crashing over us with such force and velocity that it's almost dizzying to behold. Just think about it. Not too long ago, the idea of carrying a powerful computer in our pockets, capable of accessing the sum total of human knowledge with just a few taps, would have seemed like something straight out of a science fiction novel. And yet, Here we are, living in a world where that very device has become an indispensable part of our daily lives. But you know what's even more mind-blowing? The fact that this technological revolution isn't just changing the way we communicate or access information, it's also opening up entirely new avenues for wealth creation and financial prosperity. We've all heard the stories, haven't we? The college dropouts who turned their dorm room ideas into billion-dollar tech empires, the savvy investors who saw the potential in emerging technologies and rode the wave to unimaginable riches. And while it's easy to look at these success stories and think, well, that could never be me, the truth is, we're all standing on the precipice of a world of opportunity. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of embracing change and seizing opportunities as they arise. As Pythagoras, the renowned mathematician and philosopher, once said, "The oldest form of wisdom is the pursuit of truth." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from blindly following the crowd, but from the relentless pursuit of knowledge and understanding, a mindset that is essential when it comes to navigating the ever-changing landscape of technological innovation. Epicurus, the influential Greek philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory." His words remind us that true growth and fulfillment often come from facing and overcoming challenges, and that the greatest rewards are reserved for those who are willing to embrace the difficulties that come with riding the wave of technological revolution. And let's not forget the wisdom of Diogenes, the renowned Cynic philosopher, who said, "The most difficult thing in life is to know yourself." His words remind us that self-awareness and self-knowledge are essential when it comes to seizing opportunities for wealth creation, as they allow us to understand our strengths, weaknesses, and the potential consequences of our actions. The truth is, the technological revolution we're witnessing is more than just a passing fad or fleeting trend. It's a fundamental shift in the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. And for those who are willing to embrace this change, to adapt and evolve alongside the rapidly advancing technologies, the potential for wealth creation is virtually limitless. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for a new app or software platform, one that could revolutionize an entire industry or solve a pressing problem for millions of people. Or maybe you're a savvy investor with an eye for spotting the next big thing in the tech world, ready to ride the wave of innovation to financial freedom. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself in awe of the latest technological breakthrough, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that the oldest form of wisdom is the pursuit of truth, and that true wealth and fulfillment come from embracing knowledge and understanding, rather than blindly following the herd. Embrace the truth that the most difficult thing in life is to know yourself, and that by cultivating self-awareness and self-knowledge, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance and opportunity. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you to live with wisdom and contentment, and who remind you that the greatest wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the cultivation of a rich and fulfilling inner life, one that is guided by the principles of self-discipline, financial responsibility, and a deep understanding of the true nature of wealth and prosperity. 4. You're living in the era of plenty. It's like being handed the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Alright my friends, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer abundance of the world we live in. We're not just talking about the latest gadgets or the trendiest fashions, no, we're talking about something far more profound and far-reaching than that. You see, we're living in an era of plenty, a time of unprecedented wealth and opportunity that would have been unimaginable to our ancestors. It's like we've all been handed the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, with a world of riches and delights laid out before us, just waiting to be explored and enjoyed. But here's the kicker. Unlike Wonka's factory, where only a select few were granted access, the abundance of our modern world is open to anyone with the courage and determination to seize it. We're talking about a level of prosperity and potential for wealth creation that has never before been seen in human history. We've all heard the stories, haven't we? The rags to riches tales of ordinary people who stumbled upon extraordinary opportunities and rode them to unimaginable heights of success and financial freedom. And while it's easy to look at these stories and think, well, that could never be me, the truth is we're all living in the same era of abundance with the same vast potential for wealth creation at our fingertips. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of living in harmony with the natural order of things and embracing the opportunities that life presents. As Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "Well-being is attained by little and little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment are achieved through consistent, incremental effort, not through reliance on grand gestures or fleeting moments of abundance. Cleanthes, the renowned Stoic philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who is not carried away by the crowd, but who remains unmoved by the opinions of the multitude." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to financial decision making, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Musonius Rufus, the Roman Stoic philosopher, who said, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from external sources, but from the way we perceive and engage with the world around us, a mindset that is essential when it comes to embracing the era of plenty. The truth is, the era of abundance we're living in is more than just a fleeting moment in history. It's a fundamental shift in the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. And for those who are willing to embrace this abundance, to adapt and evolve alongside the ever-expanding opportunities, the potential for wealth creation is virtually limitless. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for a new product or service, one that could revolutionize an entire industry or solve a pressing problem for millions of people. Or maybe you're a savvy investor with an eye for spotting the next big thing, ready to ride the wave of abundance to financial freedom. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself in awe of the abundance that surrounds us, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that well-being is attained by little and little, and that true wealth and fulfillment come from consistent, incremental effort, not from reliance on fleeting moments of abundance. Embrace the truth that our life is what our thoughts make it, and that by remaining unmoved by the opinions of the multitude, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance and opportunity. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you to live with wisdom and contentment, and who remind you that the greatest wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the cultivation of a rich and fulfilling inner life, one that is guided by the principles of self-discipline, financial responsibility, and a deep understanding of the true nature of wealth and prosperity. 5. Starting from zero, no problemo. Money-making opportunities don't discriminate based on your bank balance. Let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? That nagging voice in the back of your mind that whispers, "But I don't have any money to start with. How can I possibly get rich?" Well, buckle up, because I'm about to shatter that limiting belief into a million pieces. You see, the beauty of our modern world is that money-making opportunities don't discriminate based on your bank balance. Whether you're sitting on a pile of cash or scraping by with just a few pennies to your name, the path to wealth is wide open and waiting for you to take that first courageous step. We've all been there, haven't we? Staring at our empty wallets or checking our bank accounts only to be greeted by a disheartening string of zeros, feeling like the dream of financial freedom is forever out of reach. But what if I told you that those zeros aren't a limitation, but rather a blank canvas upon which you can paint your masterpiece of success? Just think about it. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs and business moguls of our time started with nothing but a brilliant idea and an unwavering determination to make it a reality. They didn't let their lack of funds hold them back. Instead, they embraced the challenge and found creative ways to turn their dreams into tangible wealth. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of resilience and the role it plays in cultivating a life of virtue and wisdom. As Antisthenes, the founder of the Cynic school of philosophy, once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." His words remind us that true wealth lies not in the accumulation of material goods, but in the ability to live simply and in harmony with our needs, a mindset that is essential when starting from zero. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who is not carried away by the crowd, but who remains unmoved by the opinions of the multitude." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to financial decision making, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Hypatia, the renowned philosopher and mathematician, who said, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." Her words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from external sources, but from the way we perceive and engage with the world around us, a mindset that is essential when starting from zero and embracing the opportunities that arise. The truth is, starting from zero is not a disadvantage, but rather an opportunity to build something truly remarkable from the ground up. It's a chance to embrace the principles of frugality, resourcefulness, and unwavering determination, qualities that have been the hallmarks of countless success stories throughout history. Perhaps you're an aspiring entrepreneur with a game-changing idea, but no capital to bring it to life. Or maybe you're a skilled freelancer or gig worker, ready to leverage your talents and hustle your way to financial freedom. Regardless of your starting point, the opportunities for wealth creation are all around you, waiting to be seized. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself doubting your ability to achieve financial success because of your lack of funds, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, and that true riches come from living within your means and cultivating a lifestyle of discipline and self-control. Embrace the truth that our life is what our thoughts make it, and that by remaining unmoved by the opinions of the multitude, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance and opportunity. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you to live with wisdom and contentment, and who remind you that the greatest wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the cultivation of a rich and fulfilling inner life. One that is guided by the principles of self-discipline, financial responsibility, and a deep understanding of the true nature of wealth and prosperity. 6. Luck and chance are negotiable. Alright my friends, let's talk about that elusive concept that so many of us chase like a mirage in the desert, luck. We've all heard the stories, haven't we? The tales of ordinary people who stumbled upon extraordinary fortunes, seemingly by pure chance or a stroke of cosmic serendipity. But what if I told you that luck isn't some mystical force beyond our control, but rather a negotiable commodity that can be cultivated and harnessed to our advantage? What if I said that the secret to getting rich lies not in blindly hoping for a lucky break, but in actively creating the conditions for luck to flourish? We've all been there, haven't we? Enviously watching as others seem to effortlessly attract wealth and success, while we're left scratching our heads, wondering what we're doing wrong. But the truth is, luck isn't a zero-sum game. It's a mindset, a way of approaching life that opens us up to a world of possibilities. Just think about it. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs and business moguls of our time didn't just stumble upon their fortunes by chance. They cultivated a mindset of opportunity, a keen eye for spotting potential where others saw only obstacles. They understood that luck is often the byproduct of hard work, perseverance, and the willingness to take calculated risks. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of cultivating a mindset of resilience and opportunity. As Confucius, the renowned Chinese philosopher, once said, "The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from empty promises or grandiose plans, but from taking consistent, deliberate action towards our goals. A mindset that is essential when it comes to attracting and capitalizing on opportunities for luck and success. Socrates, the influential Greek philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." His words are a call to approach our lives with a critical and analytical mindset, to question our assumptions and habits, and to make informed decisions based on a deep understanding of our values and priorities. A mindset that is essential when it comes to cultivating luck and seizing opportunities as they arise. And let's not forget the wisdom of Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher and polymath, who said, "Virtue is the mean between two extremes." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from excess or deprivation, but from striking a balance between our desires and our means. A mindset that is essential when it comes to taking calculated risks and embracing the opportunities that luck presents. The truth is, luck is not a mystical force beyond our control, but rather a byproduct of our mindset, our actions, and our willingness to embrace change and opportunity. It's about cultivating a keen eye for spotting potential where others see only obstacles, and having the courage to take calculated risks in pursuit of our goals. Perhaps you're an aspiring entrepreneur with a brilliant idea, but you've been hesitant to take the leap, fearing that luck won't be on your side. Or maybe you're a skilled professional, but you've been playing it safe, waiting for that elusive lucky break to come your way. Regardless of your starting point, the key to attracting luck and creating wealth lies in your mindset and your willingness to take action. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself enviously watching as others seem to effortlessly attract wealth and success, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that the superior man acts before he speaks, and that true wealth and fulfillment come from taking consistent, deliberate action towards your goals. Embrace the truth that the unexamined life is not worth living, and that by approaching your life with a critical and analytical mindset, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance, opportunity, and the kind of luck that can only be cultivated through a mindset of resilience and perseverance. 7. Governments are printing cash like it's going out of style. Get in on the paper chase. Alright my friends, let's talk about something that's been making headlines and raising eyebrows across the globe. The seemingly endless printing of cash by governments around the world. It's like they've discovered some sort of magical money tree and they're shaking it for all it's worth, raining down a veritable storm of paper currency. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait, doesn't that just lead to inflation and devalue the currency? And you'd be right, if we were living in a world governed by traditional economic principles. But these are extraordinary times, my friends, and extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. You see, in the midst of this global economic upheaval, governments are doing everything in their power to keep the wheels of commerce turning, to keep businesses afloat and people employed. And one of their most potent weapons in this fight, the good old-fashioned printing press. We've all been there, haven't we? Watching as our hard-earned savings seem to dwindle in value as the cost of living continues to rise, and wondering if there's any way to get ahead in this game of financial musical chairs. But what if I told you that this very phenomenon, this deluge of freshly minted cash, is actually a golden opportunity in disguise? The ancient philosophers understood the importance of adapting to changing circumstances and seizing opportunities as they arise. As Cato the Younger, the renowned Roman statesman and philosopher, once said, "Wise men learn more from fools than fools from the wise." His words remind us to remain open-minded and receptive to unexpected sources of wisdom, even in the face of seemingly foolish actions like the printing of vast sums of money. Cicero, the influential Roman philosopher and orator, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who is not carried away by the crowd, but who remains unmoved by the opinions of the multitude." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to financial decision-making, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Plotinus, the renowned Neoplatonist philosopher, who said, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from external sources, but from the way we perceive and engage with the world around us, a mindset that is essential when it comes to capitalizing on the opportunities presented by the influx of printed cash. The truth is, the printing of cash by governments around the world is more than just a temporary measure. It's a fundamental shift in the way we approach economics and finance. And for those who are willing to embrace this change, to adapt and evolve alongside the ever-expanding money supply, the potential for wealth creation is virtually limitless. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for a new product or service, one that could thrive in an environment of abundant liquidity. Or maybe you're a savvy investor with an eye for spotting the next big thing, ready to ride the wave of printed cash to financial freedom. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is not one who is swayed by the opinions of the multitude, but rather one who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So the next time you find yourself lamenting the seemingly endless printing of cash and its potential impact on inflation, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that wise men learn more from fools than fools from the wise, and that true wealth comes from remaining open-minded and receptive to unexpected opportunities. Embrace the truth that our life is what our thoughts make it, and that by remaining unmoved by the opinions of the multitude, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance and opportunity. 8. Say hello to the Robot Overlords. Automation and software are the new MVPs, replacing big teams with sleek efficiency. Alright my friends, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the robot in the room. Because let's be real, the world we live in is rapidly becoming a playground for our silicon-based overlords, and they're taking over tasks and jobs at a dizzying pace. Just think about it. Not too long ago, the idea of having a virtual assistant that could handle everything from scheduling appointments to ordering groceries would have seemed like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But now? Well, now we've got Alexa, Siri, and a whole host of other digital helpers that have become as commonplace as the smartphones they reside in. But it's not just our personal lives that are being infiltrated by these technological marvels. The business world is undergoing a seismic shift as well. Gone are the days of massive teams and bloated payrolls, because now, with the power of automation and software, companies can achieve the same results with a fraction of the manpower. We've all been there, haven't we? Feeling like cogs in a giant machine, surrounded by countless colleagues, all working towards the same goal, but often in a disjointed and inefficient manner. But what if I told you that there's a better way? A way to streamline processes, eliminate redundancies, and achieve a level of productivity that would make even the most hardened corporate executives swoon. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of embracing change and adapting to new circumstances. As Chrysippus, the renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "The universe is a living being, endowed with a soul and reason." His words remind us that true progress and growth come from aligning ourselves with the natural order of things, and that embracing the power of automation and software is a reflection of this principle. Cicero, the influential Roman philosopher and orator, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who follows reason rather than popular opinion." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to business and financial decision-making, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Zeno of Elea, the pre-Socratic philosopher who said, "No thing that is can ever become not being." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come from embracing the present moment and the opportunities it presents, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. The truth is, the rise of automation and software is more than just a passing trend. It's a fundamental shift in the way we approach business and productivity. And for those who are willing to embrace this change, to adapt and evolve alongside the ever-advancing technologies, the potential for efficiency, cost savings, and ultimately wealth creation is virtually limitless. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for a new product or service, one that could be brought to life with the help of cutting-edge software and automation tools. Or maybe you're a savvy business owner, ready to streamline your operations and reduce overhead by leveraging the power of these technological marvels. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions or even human resources, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is one who follows reason rather than popular opinion, and who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by the pace of technological change or intimidated by the prospect of embracing automation and software, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that the universe is a living being, endowed with a soul and reason, and that true progress comes from aligning ourselves with the natural order of things. Embrace the truth that no thing that is can ever become not being, and that by following reason rather than popular opinion and living in the present moment, you're paving the way for a future filled with abundance and opportunity. 9. Your office, anywhere with Wi-Fi. Welcome to the era of digital nomadism. Now let's talk about something that's been turning the traditional concept of work on its head, the rise of the digital nomad. You know, those free-spirited souls who have traded in their cubicles and commutes for a life of adventure, exploration, and location independence. We've all been there, haven't we? Stuck in traffic, watching the minutes tick by as we inch closer and closer to our dreary office spaces, dreaming of a life where we could work from anywhere, on our own terms. Well, thanks to the wonders of modern technology and the ever-expanding reach of the internet, that dream is now a reality for an ever-growing number of people. Just think about it. Not too long ago, the idea of running a successful business or holding down a high-paying job while hopping from one exotic locale to the next would have seemed like a pipe dream. But now? Well, now we've got digital entrepreneurs, remote workers, and a whole host of other modern-day nomads who are proving that you don't need a fancy office or a permanent address to make it big. We've all heard the stories, haven't we? The tales of intrepid travelers who have turned their love of adventure into a lucrative career, all while exploring the far-flung corners of the globe. And while it's easy to look at these stories and think, well, that could never be me, the truth is, we're all standing on the precipice of a world of opportunity. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of embracing freedom and living in harmony with nature. As Cleobulus of Lindos, one of the 7 sages of ancient Greece, once said, "Moderation is the best thing." His words remind us that true fulfillment comes not from excess or deprivation, but from striking a balance between our desires and our means. A mindset that is essential when it comes to embracing the digital nomad lifestyle. Anaxagoras, the pre-Socratic Greek philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who follows reason rather than popular opinion." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to our careers and lifestyles, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Parmenides, the renowned pre-Socratic philosopher who said, "The only true path is the path of reason." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from external sources, but from the cultivation of wisdom and understanding, a mindset that is essential when it comes to embracing the freedom and flexibility of the digital nomad lifestyle. The truth is, the rise of the digital nomad is more than just a passing trend. It's a fundamental shift in the way we approach work, life, and the pursuit of happiness. And for those who are willing to embrace this change, to adapt and evolve alongside the ever-advancing technologies that make this lifestyle possible, the potential for personal and financial freedom is virtually limitless. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for an online business, one that could be run from anywhere in the world with just a laptop and an internet connection. Or maybe you're a skilled professional, ready to leverage the power of remote work and location independence to pursue your passions while earning a comfortable living. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions or societal status, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is one who follows reason rather than popular opinion, and who remains steadfast in his pursuit of virtue and self-mastery. 10. Embrace your quirks. In today's market, there's a niche for every itch, and customers are itching to scratch it. Alright my friends, let's talk about something that's been turning the business world on its head. The rise of the niche market. You know, those quirky little corners of the consumer landscape where the weird, the wacky, and the downright bizarre are not only accepted, but celebrated. We've all been there, haven't we? Scrolling through our social media feeds or browsing the internet only to stumble upon some bizarre product or service that makes us do a double take. Maybe it's a line of artisanal socks designed specifically for left-handed people, or a subscription box filled with nothing but novelty paperweights shaped like obscure historical figures. Whatever it is, our first reaction is usually something along the lines of, who in their right mind would buy that? But here's the thing, in today's market, there's a niche for every itch and customers are itching to scratch it. We live in a world where individuality and self-expression are celebrated, and where people are more than willing to open their wallets to indulge their unique interests and quirks. Just think about it. Not too long ago, the idea of building a successful business around something as niche as, say, handmade artisanal beard wax would have seemed like a pipe dream. But now? Well, now we've got entire companies dedicated to catering to the whims and fancies of the most discerning facial hair enthusiasts. The ancient philosophers understood the importance of embracing individuality and living in harmony with one's true nature. As Junzi, the renowned Chinese philosopher, once said, "The wise man seeks to cultivate himself, not to cultivate material things." His words remind us that true fulfillment comes not from chasing after material possessions or societal expectations, but from embracing our unique desires and living life on our own terms. A mindset that is essential when it comes to tapping into the power of niche markets. Mencius, the influential Chinese philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The wise man is he who follows the path of virtue, not the path of the crowd." His words are a call to embrace our individuality and to chart our own course when it comes to our business endeavors and financial pursuits, rather than blindly following the herd. And let's not forget the wisdom of Avicenna, the renowned Persian philosopher and polymath, who said, "The universe is change, our life is what our actions make it." His words remind us that true wealth and fulfillment come not from external sources, but from the way we engage with the world around us through our actions and choices, a mindset that is essential when it comes to embracing the opportunities presented by niche markets. The truth is, the rise of niche markets is more than just a passing trend. It's a fundamental shift in the way we approach business, marketing, and the pursuit of financial success. And for those who are willing to embrace this change, to adapt and evolve alongside the ever-changing consumer landscape, the potential for wealth creation is virtually limitless. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for a product or service that caters to a highly specific and underserved market. Or maybe you're a skilled artisan or creator, ready to leverage the power of niche marketing to connect with a passionate and dedicated customer base. The ancient sages understood that true wealth comes not from material possessions or societal status, but from a deep understanding of our place in the universe and a commitment to living in harmony with its principles. They recognized that the wise man is one who follows the path of virtue, not the path of the crowd, and who remains steadfast in his pursuit of self-cultivation and self-mastery. So, the next time you find yourself doubting the viability of your quirky business idea, or feeling like your unique interests and passions are too niche to be profitable, remember the words of the ancient philosophers. Remember that the wise man seeks to cultivate himself, not to cultivate material things, and that true riches come from embracing your individuality and living life on your own terms. Embrace the truth that our life is what our actions make it, and that by following the path of virtue rather than the path of the crowd, you are paving the way for a future filled with abundance and opportunity in the ever-expanding world of niche markets.